How is the album doing so far? Like last time I looked, it was about 80, but that was about a month ago.
Well, we don't care about the chart position. We just feel it's a better album than the last couple, and we did a better job, and that's all that matters. Our fans like it better. It's got all good reviews. So I feel it's successful.
I remember reading the big thing in New York Rocker, and this was a couple of years ago, and you were talking about end of the century and all that. Obviously you tried a few different things on that. Did you regret it?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
You just didn't think it worked, or?
It didn't come out as good. It was the worst album we've done.
You think?
Yeah.
What, did you think it was overproduced because of Spector, or?
Yeah, muddy.
Did you guys still keep in touch with him a little bit?
No.
I know he's pretty eccentric and everything, so.
No, he's nuts.
So you just kind of thought he schmaltzed it up a little too much. I know you just kind of take the tapes and try to overdub 30 different things on them and stuff.
Yeah, it's just muddy. It's not what we should be doing. We're supposed to make hard, raunchy.
Yeah.
More simple.
Was it more successful than some of the other ones, though?
Yeah.
Because it got some. I know Rock and Roll Radio got airplay and stuff like that.
Figures.
Yeah.
This is the best one we've done for a few albums.
Are you doing any videos for this?
We did 2 videos, Psychotherapy and Time Has Come Today.
Great.
Psychotherapy was shown on MTV. It's just I guess it's on. I don't know if they showed it too much. They made us keep cutting scenes out of it because it was too violent.
Oh, really? What was their idea of too violent? Well, it was obviously tongue-in-cheek, right?
It was in Psychotherapy. They do a lobotomy on a kid, and an alien comes out of his forehead.
Uh-huh. And they just thought that was a little too...
So they wanted it all cut.
What do you think of MTV? I'm just curious.
No comment.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you, or...
It's obvious, it's obvious.
What
do you think of it?
I think it has its good points, but I think it's a lot of hype, and there's not much balls to it. Yeah, there's not much balls to it. I mean, they show a lot of real schlocky stuff.
You said it.
I remember. So, is this getting a lot of airplay? Because I watch all the video stuff, and I have a video player, so I tape stuff off TV. I remember seeing the one. Well, it was Night Flight. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
That show?
Yeah.
And they were talking to you about radio and commercial radio. You still feel the same way?
Do I still feel the same way?
Yeah, that it still isn't too, it lacks a lot of creativity, and there's not too much risk-taking in it. You still feel that way?
Yeah. I mean, now they've just gone to playing cooperative new wave bands. These white disco bands that play electronic music,
All right. Yeah, that seems to be the in thing, the new white funk movement, Spandau Ballet.
Yeah, that's the same shit.
What do you think of the electronic stuff?
It's not rock and roll. It's not rock and roll. I hate it.
I think you got a dig one in my coat. What about saw Rock and Roll High School? I thought it was great. Did you kind of deliberately go out to do a kind of a B movie? Because I know Roger Corman was involved in it, right?
Well, when we found out that they wanted, they were interested in us, and that he was involved, it sounded like a good idea. As long as
I thought it turned out great.
As long as they weren't going to make us do anything that we didn't want to do, that's all.
So, are you going to ever do another movie, or
no?
You don't think so? What, overexpose yourself, or?
No, I think that ruined that finished our movie careers.
Just one big blast, huh?
No, I don't think anyone will offer us anything.
Huh?
If somebody offers us something that sounds good, we'll do it. I mean, we have enough work to do.
What's your reception like in England? I don't know how long it's been since you played over there, but it's usually isn't it even more wild than over here?
No, it's very good here. It's good there, but it's good here.
The other thing I saw...
if you're too wild, then you feel like the only thing listening. Right?
You mean if you're too flashy, gimmicky?
I said if the audience is too wild, then you feel like they're not listening.
Right.
You want a certain balance where you feel like they're really enjoying it, but they're listening to what you're doing. If they're just totally crazy, you're not really listening. They're too busy being crazy.
Yeah, notice a lot of bands which, as soon as they play the first note, everybody goes out there and just dance, but doesn't seem to really, doesn't seem like they're really paying attention to the performers itself.
At the time tonight, I thought the audience really paid attention, listened, and really got into it more and more as the set went on. It's always been good here. We always had a good time in Omaha.
Yeah, it's great that you come play here because Nebraska doesn't, or Iowa or Kansas don't really get a lot of. We get a lot of sticks.
We already passed here, and we were upset why we didn't play here. And then they got the job here.
We get a lot of sticks and that kind of shit. A lot of real.
No, it's always been good. We always played that. I think the music hall or something like that.
Yeah, right. I didn't see that, but I remember a couple of years ago. I think.
Yeah, I think we've been here 3 times.
What was the reaction? Because, see, I don't really remember this because I wasn't into it then, but what was the reaction to the first album? I mean, the critics couldn't call it punk rock because it really wasn't such a thing.
They called it punk rock. They called it punk rock before we put out the album. They called it punk rock right away.
Oh, I wasn't even sure whether they had the term, whether
they
were the term around.
They were calling, people punks back in the 30s. And
well, yeah, sure, I know that, but you know what I mean. I mean, the general
rock
categorization.
Yeah. Well, punk rock was even applied to some psychedelic bands.
It was
garage punk.
It was
the trash
very, very obscure. There was just a writer or two that was referring to it as that.
They still call the Trash Man, the Sonics.
No, but we were being referred to as punk rock right away in New York.
So, I remember you saying the Sex Pistols really wasn't Johnny Rotten at the first gig you guys played in England, or a real early one? And
yeah, they were. The Sex Pistols were on the Dam, the Clash. They were all there. The first job. They didn't even have bands yet, except for the Sex Pistols had a band, and we met them all, and we were hanging out with them because we thought they were the cooler looking people when we were in London, and they seemed interesting, and we were there for 3 days, and we hung around with them.
What was your impression of them? Was some of it facade or?
No, they seemed like they said they had our first album. They were big fans, and they were starting their bands, and they were just regular nice kids,
Really?
They never came off with any attitude towards us or nothing.
What was doing?
They were young kids then. I mean,
yeah,
they were all like 19 years old.
Then, that's for sure. Cook and Jones played in Lincoln not too long ago.
We just saw Steve Jones.
Yeah.
Out in California.
They were fun.
He always comes. We always see him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, we interviewed him. They're pretty interesting. So.
We're sorry to see the Clash go so soft now. And
you think they are?
They sound the same to you?
No, they don't sound the same to me. I don't know. I'm quite a fan of the Clash, so I don't like all their stuff. I don't really
Well, they don't play punk rock no more.
Whatever punk rock is, I guess.
Well, they don't play rock anymore.
They're not like the first album, no.
No, they play disco music and at times.
You don't like the reggae-ish type stuff?
Today?
Yeah.
I don't see really how white people can really play reggae music.
Yeah, I know. That's always kind of a big criticism.
I mean, and you're not really playing the real thing because you're not, they're doing too many things. I mean, they'll do a disco song, they'll do some reggae songs. You can't branch out and be good and everything. They're a punk rock band, and you gotta do what you do best.
Yeah, I think that was definitely their forte.
You can't be great in disco and great in reggae and great in punk rock. I mean, they don't all go together. You gotta be, you specialize. And they don't play any hard rock songs on the record no more. Nothing's fast. Nothing's hard.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
Since their third album, that London Calling album, nothing's been hard.
They were starting to go off there.
I think they just really compromised a lot to really succeed.
What do you think, with Paul Weller breaking up the Jam and stuff like that? Since we're on, British bands.
I really don't care.
Well, another thing we were thinking about this earlier. You were talking about MTV, and they wanted you to cut a bunch of stuff.
I was never a Jam fan.
They wanted you to cut a bunch of stuff out of that. Well, what do you think about the criticism of, the violent kind of stuff? I mean, I see it all as tongue-in-cheek, but...
beat the brat with the baseball.
Do you think there's any justification for the criticisms, this beat on the brat?
No, we don't provoke any... I don't think we provoke any violence of any sort. Most of all the stuff is funny stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Our shows have no violence. Everybody's having a very good time.
Yeah.
I never see any trouble. Once in a blue moon. I mean, I'm sure heavy metal shows have trouble every night.
Yeah. Well, they had trouble at the S Festival. Some guy got beat to death in the parking lot out there.
Yeah. We're never in trouble.
So what are you going to do?
Some people just don't want you to do something. Most people don't want you to do anything good. They just want you to do something the same as everybody else.
Well, yeah.
You make somebody think, and all of a sudden
mediocrity.
Right. Just push mediocrity down everybody, the same way the television does too.
What are you going to do? Not to sound cliche, but I mean, where do you go from here? I mean, can you see yourself doing this 10 years from now?
No. I can see doing it for another 2 or 3 years. We're still good.
Oh yeah.
The records are still good, and the show's very good. And another 2 or 3 years, I really can't see doing. All I want to do is play this type of music, and I really can't see playing punk rock. You can only play it to a certain age.
I wonder where the hell music's going to go.
Well, I just want to do this, and then that's it, and just retire. I wouldn't want to do anything else. You'll know when it's. I feel like I'll know when it's time, and then you just got to get out.
So
it's good anymore.
Like when you release an album, you don't really particularly have any goal. Like you don't expect it. Yeah, you don't expect it to be a big. I don't know how much you really sell. I think you sell fairly well now, but
I don't know. I just want to make an album which our fans all really do like, and that we like. And where they say, that was the best one you've done. I mean, we put out this album, kids come up to us, the best album you've done in a few years. And I feel very good about that. We were able to actually improve on the last 2 records at this stage. That's all that matters. I like to still do better still.
Well, talking about the punk thing and everything, there was always the political, mystique that surrounded it, and it was political this and political that. Do you think that doesn't really fit in your music? I never thought that punks were supposed to be political. I thought punks were supposed to be. You always pictured punks as kids who are standing in the corner, don't want to do nothing, and don't care about anything. I mean, the media. I think the media
having hippie political views isn't. I see what it has to do with being a punk.
Music.
Well, now
politics and music not mixed. Do you think?
Among the hippies and the folk singers, yeah.
Right now in Britain, there's sort of they sort of call a punk renaissance, but all the bands are singing about anarchy and.
Oh, what do we have to complain about?
Well, I think we got a lot of things we can complain about, but I'm just wondering if you think it fits it.
I don't see what we have to complain about.
What, you mean in the United States?
I'm happy. I have, whatever I want.
But
you can get wherever you want if you just try hard enough,
Well, but you're not pleased about radio.
Oh yeah, well, it ain't gonna make no difference. It's all big corporations. You really can't complain, but you can't change nothing.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna change. This is the system, you just gotta live with it. But that's complaining about the radio. It's not gonna get us. Ain't gonna get us nowhere.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll say it to you.
We'll
say it to you.
Radio got some airplay for once. But you think that was more due to Spector and all the
I don't think it was really a complaint. I think it was just a nostalgic type thing, So.
Well, yeah, I think it was that too. What about We Want the Airwaves?
Yeah, well, I don't
know. I thought it was great. I can relate to that because we're just a small station. We don't have very much power, but one thing we can do is play anything we want.
Yeah, but this isn't really politics, really, is it? I don't think.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you'd call it.
I mean, we're talking about England and political things, but anarchy, and this has nothing to do with we have complaints about the radio. I mean, this is
I suppose it's but I mean it
really roundabout.
Well, yeah, but it works together in some ways.
Well, there's always something to complain about, but
anything
a political group.
I was just curious whether you thought they mixed. I know some people.
The hippies already did this already in the late '60s. I mean, to me, it's just being a hippie. Protesting
call
things.
Me a hippie.
Yeah, well, but
some people would call us hippies just because of the length of our hair. Though.
Oh, that doesn't make you a hippie. You can have very short hair and be a hippie. It's just political party hippies.
It's a frame of mind.
I guess.
It was those people who were protesting the war and protesting all these things in the late '60s and the draft and everything. Those were the hippies. It's not whether you have long hair.
I know a lot of people that have long hair
and be a right-wing conservative.
Oh yeah, sure can.
Yeah, there's some guy in California who's trying to keep was out of San Francisco. He's trying to get rid of the mayor because she advocates gun control, and he's got about as long as hair as anybody else.
Well, better wrap it up.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Oh, if you have something else to ask.
No, that pretty much does it. I'm glad you guys came. That's
it's
great.
good to be here in Nebraska.
I've got one question to ask you. I noticed that your production on Pleasant Dreams was pretty clean, and it was all around a well-cut album. Do you have any comments as far as the work that went into that?
Yeah, it's a good album. The songs are good. I don't care for the production. It's too soft. Graham Gouldman. The Ramones shouldn't be working with somebody who isn't 10cc. I think that's a joke.
I noticed that a lot of the songs had to do with romance and girlfriends. And
our new album has got less of that. I don't think we should be doing that either.
It seemed that a majority of the songs on that album were
softer album,
romance related, but why was it?
I don't know. He just writes the songs.
Yeah.
The new album is harder. Mm-hmm. Did you hear the new one yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Who does
the new one's harder? We did it with Richie Cordell, who did Joan Jett, and because we thought Joan Jett had a well-produced album, so we got this guy. Pleasant Dreams, we had to get Graham Gouldman. That's all we could get at the time. We waited too long, and we couldn't find anybody.
Who does...
what?
Excuse me, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Who does most of the writing of the lyrics?
It just depends on the songs. It's all on the song credits. But next one, we'll probably do a Graham with Richie Cordell again. So I'd like to make it harder still. That's what we do best.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it. Thanks a lot. Hey, can we get your John Henrys on there?
You got mine.
No, I mean your...
oh, yeah, sure.
Your scrawl.
Yeah.